welcome to Business Inspire, and today we are speaking with Miss Leanne Baker, the Senior Program Manager with the Sherry Blair Foundation. Leanne, thank you very much for agreeing to speak with us.
Thank you for having me. I'm really excited to be here.
Now, this is basically our second interview with Leanne, and it's a sort of like a follow-up interview. Now, Leanne, we are talking about the growth and the impact that the HerVenture initiative has made in Guyana. What can you tell us about that?
Yeah, of course. So we first launched our app, HerVenture, in Guyana in 2021, and it's a app that's specifically designed for women entrepreneurs to enable them to have business skills training on the go. It's very much made up of bite-sized lessons that they can take wherever they are and fit around their busy schedules. And we launched in 2021 in collaboration with ExxonMobil Foundation and Action Invest Caribbean. And it's just grown. The community around HerVenture has grown exponentially since then. So we've now reached over 1 in 15 women in Guyana have the app on their phones. And we've had various events around the country. We have, I think, in every region of Guyana, at least a few women have the app on their phone. And recently we actually had the very first HerVenture Summit on International Women's Day, which brought that digital community all together in the same room to have an opportunity to network, learn from each other, and hear inspirational speakers as well.
Now, when you did the launch in 2021, seeing what you have been able to achieve, is this what you were expecting?
I think it was even more than we were expecting. I think from the start, we knew that there was a lot of women entrepreneurs in Guyana, and we knew that there was a real kind of growth of that area and that women were keen to learn. But I think what we've seen has really surpassed that. So many women are keen to kind of continue to build their skills, and it's not just women who are starting out in business, but women who have already had their business for several years, but who know that they want to kind of continue learning and continuing making themselves and their business as good as possible. And on top of that, I think what we've seen in terms of women sharing the app between themselves and kind of really kind of coming together in collaboration rather than just seeing each other as competition, and really developing those networks and opportunities together has been really beyond what we expected.
Now, 4 years ago, when you had this launch, the interview I did with you after that launch, one of the concerns you had was that women weren't being able to access financing as much as their male counterparts. And then you also had women who were scared to approach financial institutions to secure financing. How has HerVenture been able to change that?
Yeah, I think that the great thing about HerVenture is that it really provides a lot of information for users around things like accessing financing. So it starts to really break down the kind of lack of clarity that they have, give women more of a sense of what's out there. That's then kind of exemplified through the events that are run around HerVenture that really provide an opportunity to hear directly from banks about what they have to offer. And we had at the HerVenture Summit on Saturday, we had multiple banks and the Small Business Bureau there, and many of them shared the kind of what they have on offer for women entrepreneurs. We also have another program called Road to Finance, which gives women a more in-depth kind of exploration of the skills they need, helps them develop a pitch for financing and things like that. And I think the combination of those two things really gives women more confidence to go and seek out what it is they want, and to know that kind of the people that they're meeting at bank aren't against them, but they also want them to be successful, but just kind of breaking down that original fear and barrier. And we've really seen the kind of confidence of those women grow.
5 women, I believe it was, made pitches,
Yes.
to secure financing. Listening to them, hearing the strides they've made in their businesses, what was that like for you?
It was such a proud moment, actually, because I think, I speak to a lot of the women whenever I come to Guyana, and one of the kind of consistent things that I hear is how nervous they are to speak, even in class sometimes. And the coaches tell me as well that, the first sessions, they'll be pulling the women up and making them speak, and they never want to. And actually to see 5 of them stand on that stage and do it in front of a filled room was just such an amazing moment. And they delivered with such confidence, even the ones who I spoke to before who were really nervous. It was so clear that they knew their businesses inside and out. And I think that's what the program isn't teaching them anything about their business that they don't know. They know what the heart of their business is. It's just showing them how to present that in a way that is appealing to finance representatives and in a way that kind of sells their business to everyone.
What can we expect, or what else can we expect from the Sherry Blair Foundation when it comes to assisting women?
Yeah, so we're continuing all 4 of the programs. So we've been running HerVenture, the Road to Finance, on 2 other programs called Road to Growth and Road to Leadership, which are Road to Growth is for women who are looking to grow their business, kind of improving their understanding of their business, their financial literacy. And Road to Leadership is for women who really want to improve their leadership skills and their ability to influence people around them. We'll be running all of those programs again in 2025, and we're hoping to take those programs to a few more regions as well. So currently, we've mostly worked in Georgetown and in Berbice, but we're hopefully going to be expanding that to, we did 1 cohort this year in Linden, so hopefully there again, and maybe some other regions as well. So we really want to kind of continue to reach as many women as we can with all of our programs, and keep building the kind of the reach of HerVenture. We want to add new content to HerVenture, so I encourage anyone who's got ideas for what that could be to reach out to us. We've got some ideas, but we always want to hear what women entrepreneurs actually want to know. So that's kind of where we're working with at the moment.
Now, I know that through MMG or with MMG, a lot of women, have been able to, it has made it easier for women owning, women-led businesses, to be able to receive revenue. I mean, that partnership with MMG, when you look at it, when you look at how it has grown, how it has, made it easier for persons to, or, these businesses to accept payments and so on. If we were supposed to compare what you came when you did your research to bring HerVenture into Guyana and see where it is now, how would you describe it?
Yeah, it's changed massively. We actually spoke to a few of the women who have both implemented MMG in their business, but also a woman who actually has now created her business around mobile money. So she sells mobile money as part of her business, or she's a mobile money agent. But the women who spoke to us about how they've kind of implemented MMG, the most powerful thing to me was that it firstly saved them so much time and costs because they weren't having to physically go and get deposits. So, for example, one of the women, I think she ran a beauty business and she would not take deposits for her appointments, but then that means that if they don't turn up, she's lost that time. So it's kind of, it's not efficient for her as a business. And implementing MMG means that she can ensure that those, even if the person doesn't turn up, she's received the deposit via MMG. The other kind of crucial thing, and we did a piece of global research on this recently, is that it really offers a protection for women as well, that they don't always have to go in person to meet with vendors or clients, which some of them feel is kind of an unsafe situation for them to be in. So this was a global piece of research, but across the global stat, it was something like women were 3 times more likely to use MMG if they had solely male customers, which means that they are kind of literally trying to find ways to kind of keep themselves safe and not necessarily put themselves in what they might see as risky situations. So I think those are the 2 things that I've really noticed, is it's just made everything so much easier for women to conduct business.
Younger and younger women, are starting businesses every day. They are making the choice of, or making that decision of not going to work for somebody and, working for themselves. Yeah. What is that like for you?
I think it's really great to see. It's that kind of element of independence that entrepreneurship really brings. And that's why our founder, Sherry Blair, actually founded the organization. She was raised by very strong independent women who really drilled into her the idea that financial independence is so important for women, and often women don't have it. And actually, I think there's something about entrepreneurship that gives that to a whole other level than even just having a job. But it's also such an amazing space for women to kind of connect and collaborate with each other, be creative, solve problems that they see out there in the world. And women entrepreneurs are such important change makers when it comes to improving the world we live in, things like climate change, and women are at the heart of that. And so I encourage like as many women as possible to become entrepreneurs, because I think they are just changing the world, and it's amazing to see.
We heard things at the summit on Saturday, you know, be sisterly. Women should help women. Women who own businesses, you know, should find other women to collaborate
Yeah.
with. Have you been seeing that, coming through the HerVenture initiative?
Yeah, absolutely. We see a lot of women who kind of are able to build connections and realize that they actually don't need to see each other as competition, but instead they can see how can they work together to kind of to do something unique. You know, we have one of the women who spoke at the event on Saturday runs a kind of zero waste store where she provides raw materials, and one of several of her clients are also from the program as well, and are women, and they decide they want to get their raw materials from her, and through that they're able to kind of build this like wonderful collaboration and network. And I think it's a really important thing because women understand women in a way that other people don't. You know, they have that unique understanding and that unique shared experience, which is just so beautiful to see. And really seeing those collaborations, you see how much they all get from it, not just from a kind of business perspective, but also from a personal perspective.
Is there another program that the Sherry Blair Foundation will be introducing into Guyana?
We have been piloting in Kenya a program called Road to Markets, which is about accessing new markets through multiple different channels. And we are hoping that at some point we'll be able to bring that to Guyana once the pilot's over and we've kind of had our lessons learned and adapted the program, that we'll be able to bring and adapt it to Guyana, because we know that there's demand out there for more programs, but also specifically for the chance to learn about how to access new markets.
And the HerVenture initiative and this new Road to Market initiative that you will be introducing into Guyana, I mean, what sort of impact do you believe, or how do you see it complementing other programs that are, you know, being offered locally in terms of helping women grow?
I think the amazing thing that we've seen over the last few years is that there are so many programs coming up that support women, and I just think it's wonderful to see, and they complement each other in that they all kind of look to support women at a different stage in their business, or in a way that kind of, you know, a lot of these programs can be taken and all something will be learned from all of them. And it's just continuing to provide women with that opportunity that they haven't had for so long, which is to get this training and really kind of improve their business. And, you know, we've had some kind of great collaborations with the ministry, supporting the dissemination, Ministry of Human Services, supporting the dissemination of HerVenture, and they do wonderful programs, and also the Women's Chamber, we're going to their event tomorrow, and that kind of demonstrates the collaboration that we want to see from women, that we want to work with all of these organizations that are providing support for women, because there are so many women who deserve the support, and we only have a limited number of places, and it's wonderful to see that there's so many complementary programs out there.
My last question. Coming off of International Women's Day, I know that we are in Women's History Month. What would your advice be, you know, to a young girl who's thinking about starting a business?
I think my advice would be that, you know, it may feel like it's a huge journey that you have to go on and that there's so much to achieve. But somebody told me recently, and it's really stuck with me, which is that every journey starts with a single step. So it may feel like this daunting, long process and something that you think you can't possibly do. But every woman feels like that. Every woman feels like they're an imposter and that maybe they can't do. People are telling them all the time that they can't do it. But the reality is we all can do it. And taking that first step is often the hardest, but it will be so rewarding along the way.
Leanne, thank you very much. It's always a pleasure speaking with you.
Thank you so much.